Welcome to On the Way video series, a time where we meet you, the busy women of today, with relevant, encouraging, biblical insights, addressing real issues, offering real hope. So whatever you're doing today or wherever you're going, be encouraged on the way.
Welcome back to On the Way. Last week I told you that I was going to introduce you to one of my friends, and this is Karen.
Hi.
So we're just going to talk over a cup of coffee, but I wanted to start it out by saying this past weekend we had a small mentoring gathering, and we were just talking about women to women and how through our life women have come alongside us and how we are desiring to do the same to others, how they've helped us through hard times, shaped us in different ways. And the Friday night we had all of us sit in a circle and we started just talking about our own lives. Lynn, the partner in the ministry, brought up this kind of a exercise where we had to look at 3 to 5 points in our lives that really we remember as really shaping us. And it was interesting as we went around the group, the stories that were shared. And I just listened and I learned that each story was so different than the other, and that some had been through some large trauma in their life, and others had just, God has just brought them gently by through just small experiences. And I hope through the next few months that I'll be able to bring some of those stories to you, and you're going to resonate with them. There are so many different stories and the way God interweaves us together for a greater story. And so today our story is Karen, and Karen's going to be talking about her walk into the Bible and how she got there. So Karen, years ago, how'd you grow up?
Well, I grew up in a Christian home where God was definitely the center of my mom's life, and she definitely wanted me to know God and to know Jesus. Her parents were also Christian, and my father was Catholic, so I chose later on to be Catholic, and which was great. It was exactly the path that I was supposed to take, and I'm thankful for that. And but I noticed later on in my later early 30s, I would have to say, that I really didn't know the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know it like a lot of people in my life knew it, and it just kind of sparked an interest into knowing more.
Mm-hmm.
But I was very intimidated at the same time, because here I am in my 30s now raising a little boy, and I don't even know where to begin.
Right.
I don't really know how to use it, or, I know some of the stories, which we're all, many of us are raised with, but I really didn't understand how to use it.
Yeah. What was your first interaction with women? And then you had told me that you were invited to a study. What was your first response?
Well, originally, how I got invited to that study was at a wine tasting. And I was talking about where I would be sending my child to preschool, and I picked out a Christian preschool. Mm-hmm. And I remember the demonstrator for the wine tasting said, "Oh, my daughter goes there. We love it. You should come to the women's Bible study." And I, looked like a deer caught in the headlights, and that was not exactly how I had planned for me to start learning the Bible, but clearly God had a different path for me, and here I was at a wine tasting, and
you never know.
He met me there. And I dropped off my son that day, and I had a choice to make. I could either go upstairs to the Bible study, or I could walk right out that door, and God had his hand on that too, and put my hand on that door and marched me upstairs.
And then what did you do?
And then I got there, and
you were
I was
like,
the
"Yay, no."
only person there with the instructor, the Bible study teacher, And she said, well, welcome. It's so good to meet you. Thank you for coming. And I'm going to put you to work. You're going to sell the books. And I was like, I didn't even know if I wanted to be there, let alone now I have a job that I really can't get out of until, the last book is sold. And yeah, that was the end of that. I was in.
Yeah, yeah. And years later, you just took it at a slow pace, and you started with a small group. Now you took another step, and then what was recently? What's the biggest step you took?
Well, over the years, I was in small group Bible studies, mentored by the best women, who were just a little bit older than me and have just been in it a little bit longer than me, and could still remember what it was like to not know anything.
Yeah.
And they just, kind of held my hand and cheered me on and helped me when I needed help. And I didn't need, if I did need a little help, they were right there. There was no judgment. There was no, anything to make me feel like I should already know all this or anything like that, which was so gentle. And then I started, becoming a small group Bible study leader, and it's all God. I mean, because seriously, I'm thinking to myself, many of you may know me, many may not, but I don't think that anybody could have picked this for my life, as I was growing up or anything. But it's just been an incredible experience. I've met incredible women, and I've learned so much.
Yeah, yeah. So Karen's story started a long time ago, through just different things in her life. God continued to pursue her and bring her, and so she has learned the Bible different than I, and she knows that it can be very intimidating to women, that it can be very scary of where to start and where to end, what it is all about. And so with that passion, she's going to be teaching you for a couple video sessions on just this big book, this big Bible, and how she learned to not be so afraid of it. And it changed her life as she became more comfortable with how to go into it, and she became more comfortable opening up with other women. And so I hope you can join us over the next few weeks. And today, I want you to be encouraged that you are loved and you are pursued by God, and that He knows where you are today, and He accepts you and loves you right there. So have a great day.
I've been restless on the inside, wondering about this heart of mine. I've been desperately trying to find a way to prove that I'm still alive. Has the love I speak so loudly